Hello there friends, Steve here. I wanted to check in and say hello, give a little report on what I've been doing, what we've been doing, what's been happening, why I haven't been broadcasting, and I'd like to actually begin by saying thank you, a great big thank you. I took a little bit of time off the broadcast, and I'll be resuming broadcasts on YouTube or across the internet live soon. There's a lot of thoughts going into the new episodes, so to speak, the new season. But as you know, it was always a spontaneous thing, so it's a spontaneous break and it'll be a spontaneous comeback with some totally new views. The world in between has almost changed a little bit. You've noticed maybe changes. We live in very exciting times. I think it was a good time for me and maybe others to just maybe take time off from one thing to do another. Now, my time hasn't been free. I've been, in fact, more busy than ever. Otherwise, I would have continued the broadcast and things. But it was, like I say, it was good to take a break. And in the meantime, I've been meeting with my band members. They all came from different countries and things. We managed to meet. It's always a big deal, finding places for people to sleep and having cooking facilities and places for people to be on days off, and a workplace. You know, we're like down the rehearsal hall, the studio, putting together a new show to take on the road as soon as possible. Because one thing we all agree on, we all want to get out and about and come to people's towns, come to people's villages, come around the world if possible, you know, to get out and that. That's important for me, this audience connection, and you know, as much as I'm a part of the audience, and I like to see people be creative and bring life to the world, bring uniqueness to the world. You know, I feel we can do the same. You know, it's like share and share, peer-to-peer sharing. It's been a hard time, you know, gathering the guys and getting into the practice hall, enduring the social problems that already stand, you know, enduring the pains that we already carry and the burdens that we already carry with us as each individual into a group. Each individual brings their burdens into that team. And with greatest respect, everybody, I'd like to thank everybody. I've got great appreciation for everybody putting their burdens secondary, putting their sacrifices secondary, putting their pain secondary, and their maybe other aspirations, and to put the team first. You know, there's been arguments, there's been shouting about you know, who's washing up and cleaning the toilet, there's slamming doors, these kind of obvious petty arguments that do make a big difference. People need their sleep, people need their food, and sometimes some alone time, empty space, things like that. So as a team, it's obviously creating a situation that's only temporary, and you know, I appreciate that everybody is able to adapt to a temporary situation, and everybody was there during the practices and otherwise contributed towards the positive energy, positive and negative. But when you take the fruit at the end and you leave the things that are, you know, the withered fruit and the rotten fruit and things and the thorns, you leave that aside, all of the bad things that happened, and when you take the fruit of what we do as a collective, as you know, as a team, that's what makes the difference. So, I just noticed a car stopping and somebody getting out to see what I'm doing. You're not alone anywhere in the world, never mind. It's these small distractions that stop me from finding the flow, and then I'd have to begin. Anyway, I'll try and work out where I came from. Yeah. So in the process of putting the band together, we had a great time. I'll put up some videos. I'll leave a link in the description box below, and you'll be able to see into our practice hall, the guys practicing. So I appreciate, you know, and if I've shouted at you, then it's because you mean something to me, you know. And it's because I tried to maybe make a bond that wasn't possible, and you know, I found myself being somebody different in the process because of the need for somebody to synchronize events between the band, say 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, the song begins, to make some decisions and things. You know, I found myself in that position, and in a way, now as I look at myself, I feel almost like a wedding planner. You know, one of those typical stereotype, say, gay camp wedding planners. You know, oh, you shouldn't order those flowers. You've got the wrong serviettes. You know, and flipping out about like details, flipping out about like minor behavioural flaws and things. But I think, you know, creating a rock band and getting a rock band on stage and getting the audience and everybody there to make that big event happen is very much, I see now, parallels between getting a wedding. Now, like with a wedding, you send out the invitations, you plan the tables and the chairs and how many guests there's going to be, you plan, you know, the event all the way up to the ceremony itself. And if any of the guests should behave badly, it defiles the ceremony. So there's a massive importance for everybody to behave their best on that day. So, there's the car coming around. I wonder if it's going to stop. Slow enough to have a look. So it's like planning a wedding. You know, every interruption defiles that ceremony. What is the ceremony? The ceremony is that we all get to the event, and you know, the music starts and we all dance, all of us. You know, it's a celebration of harmony. You know, the music is nature. It's the laws of nature playing to us humans. You know, so it's something, and it doesn't have to be music. Obviously, a marriage is of a wedding is between unity between man and woman and symbolises life. But that process, like I say, running a rock band, getting in the practice hall, practicing the vows and whatever, the lyrics, all of these types of things, I find myself in more of a position of like that wedding planner, doing everything out of love, even losing my temper at people, because on the day it needs to be the best day. You know, for me, the best wedding day would be when everybody falls in love with each other and everybody's at the best, you know. And that's what I like about concerts and stuff. That's what I like about, like, events and things, festivals where people can go and that people can meet each other and fall in love. It's raining, so I think I'll have to wrap this up. But it's like, how does this tie in with anything? You know, why am I making this video? You know, obviously, I make videos because I think in a way if we share ideas and we can empower each other, we can change this world. The side effect, the positive side effect is that we can meet each other as friends, as human beings, and we can actually meet each other in physical as well. But in a way, just in the fact that we communicate in ideas is a total connection, is a bond. And I feel my own approach, my own heart. It's often said the answers are in the heart, and like many of us, we have a certain kind of anger towards the system, and we want to change things, and we're looking for people who are to maybe blame or fault, so we can change those faults. But there's a different approach if you're looking at things like creating a wedding rather than a war. You know that there's certain things to maintain within that fight, like your own dignity at the end of the day. And also the fact that there's nothing to be judged until the day of the ceremony. You know, you just have to hope all of your guests behave. You know, you've invited different types of friends and relatives and guests, and you know they've all got potential different habits. You know, he starts to tell different, you know, racist jokes when he's had a bit too much to drink, or she gets a little bit offended and starts offending other people. And, you know, these types of dynamics, you know that it's going to happen. And really with the wedding, it has to fulfill a certain ceremony. And that's at the end, there's no brick house built, there's no material thing built, there's a ceremony, something happened there. And anybody who's been to such a ceremony can see that it has meaning. You know, like, obviously if you go to a concert, you hear the music, our spirits are uplifted, we're connected together, and it's a day to remember. And I think, as we know also, the changes that are created on this planet, in society, in your world, in my world, in our worlds, the changes begin in spirit, in the heart, in the mind. You know, we can use intelligence, and when intelligence fails us, we can use the heart. When the heart fails, we can use intelligence, or should I say, the ability to think and reason. Intelligence is more the information you've gathered and how you use that, but that still depends on how good that information is. So you can watch the internet, watch the television, listen to newspaper, listen to the gossip, and just because it's en masse, think that that's true or has substance. So the world can change when we change the world, the way we see it, the way I see it, the way you see it. It has to be seen individually. We can't share a worldview. We can only align our worldviews. And so in that way, to understand that the world will change, and it's more efficient for you to concentrate on that kind of positive change. You know, sometimes doing, like, you know, putting all of your energy into what you love and moving forward with that, it equates the same as moving forward in war and revenge. But it's a different motivation, and it's a different energy, and it's a different outcome. What I mean is, like, if your enemy is stopping you from doing what you love, you can fight your enemy, or you can do what you love. And if you do what you love with enough love, then others would help you to do what you love, rather than help you to fight the enemy. People don't want to fight, intrinsically, you know, inherently, instinctively. And so, the same as a wedding ceremony would lead up to a moment where a contract was made, or a bond was made, or a ceremony was fulfilled, out of love, out of partnership, out of families and friends and everybody coming together and agreeing. That's a motivation. That's a great motivation. And it would be equivalent to making the same action of a kind of war on evil, to just simply by forcing love and doing good. I don't mean forcing love on people, but just forcing love within yourself to conquer over your own hatred, over your own malice, over your own contempt. Now, I don't say love overcomes fear. I say love and fear can go hand in hand, because not everything we fear is bad, and to have fear is not bad. So I'm getting a visitor. I'll say thank you and cheerio.
Hallo?
Hello.
Was machen Sie da?
Ich sitze, trinke ein Bierchen und mache eine Videoaufnahme.
Ich komme wieder rein.
Hm?
Ich komme wieder her.
Wie meinst du, aus welchem Land?
Ich bin hier der Jagdweg, ich habe jetzt gehört, okay?
Oh ja, ja.
Aber haben Sie Probleme irgendwie, oder?
Nein, ich habe gesehen, es regnet, ich setze mich hin, trinke geschwind ein Bier.
Was haben Sie gemacht?
Ein Bier.
Na gut, ist in Ordnung.
Ein kleines Bierchen trinken.
Verstehen Sie hier über Nacht, oder campen?
Nein, gar nicht. Ich habe nicht genug Sachen dabei.
Ja.
Nein, ich bin unterwegs auf dem kleinen Pfad. Und ich nehme ein bisschen Auszeit vom Menschheit.
Ja, ich meine, wenn Sie Probleme haben, Sie können mir sagen, ich kann Ihnen helfen.
Ich bin sehr dankbar, ja.
Ja.
Und Sie kommen von hier, oder? Sie sind
Ich habe das Revier, das gehört mir, ja.
Ah ja, ja.
Ja, da unten habe ich Sie gesehen.
Klar, ja,
Wenn
ja.
ich kann nachfragen, was Sie machen. Gell?
Ja, ich bin dankbar, ja. Ja. Ich verstehe, Sie machen.
Es gibt Leute, die brauchen mal Hilfe im Wald.
Ja, 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 ich bin sehr dankbar dafür. Dass Sie,
Gut.
ja, es ist einfach eine schöne Gegend.
Ja, Sie können das
Manchmal
ruhig
stoppe ich
genießen, aber
einfach. Ja, es ist
das
einfach.
ist meine Pflicht, wenn jemand sieht,
Mhm.
wenn es Probleme gibt, dass es weitergibt noch. Gell?
Ah ja, okay. Ja. So, wenn ich in Zukunft irgendwo bin, dann winke ich schon. Ja.
Sind Sie als Urlauber da unterwegs? Oder?
Nicht wirklich. Ich bin Musiker.
Ja.
Und ich wandere ein bisschen und bleibe in einer Gegend eine Weile und arbeite mit Menschen und gehe zu einer anderen und arbeite dort und dann komme wieder zurück.
Mhm.
Und ich bin viel unterwegs.
Sie machen jetzt Ferien, oder?
Ich bin sozusagen immer am Arbeiten als Musiker, als Künstler.
Ja.
Ja. Und so das ist meine
Jetzt ist
Arbeit.
ein bisschen, nehmen Sie ein bisschen Abstand zu der Arbeit. Gell?
Ja, und ich schreibe Songs hier
Mhm.
und sitze und hier bekomme ich meine Inspiration eigentlich für
Okay.
Songs. Gell? Die Menschen brauchen Natur wieder.
Gut.
Auf jeden Fall.
Also,
Und Sie machen weiter.
bitte?
Sie machen.
Ich bin im Jagen hier.
Ah ja.
Gut,
Aber es regnet. Ich glaube, ich bewege mich weiter.
wie lange bleiben Sie noch?
5 Minuten.
Ja, Sie
Oh,
können länger bleiben. Ne?
Ja.
Ich will bloß wissen, ob Sie Hilfe brauchen oder nicht.
Ich brauche keine Hilfe,
Okay,
danke.
also dann.
Ich bedanke mich sehr. Ich habe nicht gedacht, dass das.
Ich habe Sie von unten gesehen. Gell?
Ja, weil ich bin oft selber, wenn ich jemanden sehe im Wald,
Ja.
ich bin auch so wie Wald. Ich habe auch im Wald gearbeitet, als so Baumpfleger, Bäume klettern und Bäume pflegen.
Wald braucht Arbeit. Gell?
Absolut, ja.
Also gut, dann.
Ich wünsche dir eine
Viel
schöne
Spaß
Zeit.
noch, gell?
Und vielen Dank. Ja.
Ja, bitteschön.
That's interesting, yeah. That was the forester, the hunter, and he was telling me that he has the duty to ask me if I need help, if I need assistance, if I'm here in the forest. He did ask me if I was camping, but he didn't say I wasn't allowed. He just told me that he had the duty to ask if I'm okay. Which in a way is quite a heavy responsibility to come to everybody who's in a forest and ask them if they're okay. should have shouted from up there, really, Alice Clark. But it's nice for people to come and talk. And sometimes we take the defensive when someone just comes and invades our private space. We think, you know, but I guess he didn't see I was filming, so he wouldn't see a reason to keep his distance anyway. And he was a nice man. What can you say? Stay off the road. You know, because people don't really get out of the cars much. You know, if they can see you from the car, they'll get out. If they can't see you from the car, you know. I'm not saying hide, I'm just saying that the hide, it stops people having to ask you if you need help. So really it's about not putting people in a position where they need to ask if you need help, if you don't need help. You know, not making yourself look incompetent or anything. You know? Making your reason and your purpose seem a little more obvious to others rather than creating suspicious behaviour. You know, it leads to paranoia on all sides. When someone starts like concealing their actions and things, you know, they've got to be fully concealed, otherwise, you know, it's just suspicion. You know, like when you see someone sneak behind a wall or a tree, they've got something to hide. If they're looking around to see if anyone's looking, you know, they're better off hiding better in the first place. And so in a way, that's the way our system hides, you know, the fact that Santa Claus isn't actually, you know, doesn't actually come in person. Well, the history, you know, is just what it is. It's just a story. Anyway, I'm babbling now, but there you can see how distractions. I guess I set myself up. I guess I could have seen anything like that come in, and it wasn't a great disturbance. So yeah, let's watch this back later.